But when you do your research, you find out that there's no paperwork on Big Meech. So if you go do your research, you find out that there's no paperwork on Big Meech. That's why you hadn't seen no paperwork. It's all hearsay. Somebody saying he told, or somebody saying he used Tammy Cowan's to set up Cuffy. Well, when you do your research and you look at the court documents that's on Big Meech, you see that Tammy Cowans took the stand and said that she did this on her own accord without Big Meech's knowledge.
Floyd Mayweather just issued some warning shots to Charleston White, asking him to back off of this Big Meech drama or face some severe consequences. Charleston, however, is not giving up and is not going to be silenced for voicing his opinions. Since being released from prison, Charleston has given several interviews, and during one of them, he shared his thoughts on the Big Meech 50 Cent case. Charleston acknowledged that there is not any evidence that Big Meech snitched on anyone, but he also said that 50 Cent was justified in leaving because Big Meech and his kid had betrayed him by joining his operations. One of the ops in question, Floyd Mayweather, was not pleased with Charleston's remarks though, and he has made the decision to confront Charleston if he ever crosses paths with him. Therefore, is Floyd Mayweather genuinely attempting to assist Big Meech and his family in rebuilding their lives, or is his goal only to undermine 50 Cent? We are going to spill all of this tea, so hold on tight.
Let this be a perfect example on you gotta be very careful on who you bring in and who you put on. That's Little Meech right there. And if you don't know, he's the son of Big Meech. And if you don't know who that is, well, Big Meech was one of the biggest drug dealers in Detroit, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, long story short, he went in jail. He came out of jail and he started linking up with 50 Cent's ops. Now, bear in mind, 50 Cent made BMF and put Little Meech on BMF without any acting skill.
Guys, the turmoil surrounding Big Meech is now bubbling out and bringing nearly everyone down with it. Floyd Mayweather and Charleston White are the most recent to be drawn into the drama, and believe me when I say that it is as messy as they come. Charleston recently shared his thoughts on the ongoing feud between 50 Cent, Big Meech, and Lil Meech in an interview, and he dropped some quite shocking revelations. He began by stating that he has not seen any documentation supporting 50 Cent's allegations that Big Meech is a snitch, thus he does not really believe them. He said people should do their investigation before making accusations that Big Meech set Cuffy and others up by using Tammy Cowan.
When you do your research, you find out that there's no paperwork on Big Meech. So if you go do your research, you find out that there's no paperwork on Big Meech. That's why you hadn't seen no paperwork. It's all hearsay. Somebody saying he told, or somebody saying he used Tammy Cowan's to set up Cuffy. Well, when you do your research and you look at the court documents that's on Big Meech, you see that Tammy Cowans took the stand and said that she did this on her own accord without Big Meech's knowledge.
After that, Charleston sided with 50 Cent and attacked Big Meech and his son. He claimed that because 50 supported Big Meech when no one else, not even Rick Ross, did, he does not hold it against him for crashing out the manner he did. After 50 cleaned Mimi up and sent him to pay for acting school, he was cast in a series that brought him millions of dollars. 50 essentially took over and became Lil Meech's father figure, while Big Meech was incarcerated. Charleston claims that if someone did what 50 did for them and then went on to associate with their adversaries, anyone would be furious. He referred to Big Meech's relationship with Rick Ross as a slap in the face, claiming that he and his son are entitled to any retaliation from 50.
I'm looking at it from 50 position. I go get your son, and at the time when I meet your son, he's not making the best decisions in life. You know, they say the was strung out on them perks, and they like to pop them perks. 50 take him somewhat, I wouldn't say clean him up, but spend 2 years in acting classes that 50 paid for. It was hard finding somebody to play the role of Big Meech, so we pick your son. 50, according to 50, he's put over $5 million into the pockets of Lil Meech and the families, you know, financial, over $5 million. He's helped them make. nigga blew your son up, and we bring you back to life. Prior to the BMF series, Big Meech was buried alive. Wasn't nobody saying his name. Jeezy wasn't really shouting him out no more. He was buried alive. So 50 bring life back to him, put his son in a position, turn his son into a millionaire, and he actually turned out to be a pretty good actor. You come home, I'm gonna put you in a better position. For you to go fuck Rick Ross, that's a slap in the face.
If you guys recall, all of this started because Big Meech joined up with Rick Ross to obtain some cash to float him when he got out of jail. Keep in mind that if Lil Meech had not wasted every penny that 50 had placed in his pocket throughout their collaboration, none of this would have occurred. 50 Cent explained that Big Meech did what he did because he needed the money after feeling violated by the fact that Big Meech had worked behind his back with Rick Ross. He stated, "They just told me you unfollowed me off Instagram, and now you managing Skilla Baby when I brought him around you first, when you didn't even have a clue who he was. Now you mad at me when I would take the shirt off my back for you. I can't believe this, man. You act as if I'm your enemy. I've only showed you love and loyalty. I'm human. I go through my own ish, but I never switched up on you, F. Ross, but he gave my dad some bread so he can afford to pay his bills until our next season starts. This internet ish is throwing me off, man. You know me in real life." Lil Meech appeared to be making an effort to win back 50's favor, but 50 was not letting him get away with it. Rather, he declared that he was discontinuing the BMF series, so severing Lil Meech's financial support. People's views to this encounter were divided. Some believed Lil Meech should have stood up to 50 for disrespecting his father, while others felt he was right to apologize. On this, Boozy had some very strong views.
I was like, damn, you know, like, seemed like him and 50 got a, you know, because after that thing came out, how Meech was talking all, you know, like, no, not all y'all. I'm with my dead neighbor, you know, I ain't like his response. It seemed like he got a genuine love for 50 Cent on him, and from when I was reading it, like, he seemed like he caught in the middle, but, you know. Like, yeah, he caught in the middle. That's what it seemed like from me reading it, but I'd have been like, why can't I you?
Right, because it's your father.
My dad.
But because 50 placed Lil Meech on, you cannot dispute that shutting him off will have a significant impact on his revenues. One would assume that Big Meech and Lil Meech would at least make an effort to speak with 50 about extending the performance, but they didn't. Rather, they drew the battle line by spending more time with 50's adversaries, particularly Lil Meech, who has been seen hanging out with Floyd Mayweather on several occasions. Big Meech and Lil Meech have posted many images of them hanging out with Floyd and Rick Ross in the last few weeks. He posted a video of himself and Floyd enjoying themselves while watching a Lakers game from the floor, with whom they are still at odds. When they played together on stage, 50 gave him a shady look. It was a full-fledged war between them after that. Through their interviews and songs, they disparaged one another. 50 seizes every opportunity to transport Rosie back to his officer Ricky days. He thinks Ross is pretending to be a gangster, while in reality, she is a correctional officer. Tim Westwood actually called Ross a fraud in a 2015 interview.
What about you and Rick Ross?
That is desperation at the points that you hear things from him at this point. You know, because if you're looking for someone, it ain't that hard to find me. And I'm around. And I'm not used to having an altercation with law enforcement. I'm just not used to saying I'm gonna do something to a correctional officer or to a police officer or anyone who's been under oath is gonna say with no problem everything that you've said and everything that's happened immediately after. Like, you notice.
50 claimed in a different interview that Rick Ross is irrelevant and that he has no regard for his profession. Regarding Rick Ross, he also thinks 50 Cent is a big bull and despises him.
Why do you take a picture with Rick Ross? You like a hoe. I had to put your back against the wall and just slide down. You already know, car show going down June 7th. Get online right now, get your tickets right now. But for the hustlers, I want y'all to understand you gotta stop making business personal. Get your money. You don't know these things. These things don't know you. And for anybody going against Ricky Rose, let me have this. I've been putting my foot up you when you hisses for the last 15 years. Everything you live, touch, crumble. Why you think Rose on top? We don't take this shit personally.
You can sort of see where the drama is coming from when you are with them, but given how seriously 50 takes his feuds, Floyd Mayweather and 50's beef is likely the messiest drama he has ever been a part of with Floyd. Floyd and 50 used to go everywhere together. To further demonstrate their devotion to one another, they even shared an appearance on the cover of XL. But when Floyd was found guilty of domestic violence in 2012 and spent a few months in jail, everything changed. 50 had to start everything over while he was incarcerated. When he was released from prison, Floyd turned against him after he had spent $1 million of his money cleaning up his mess. In addition to refusing to repay his debt and match 50's investment, he began accusing 50 of attempting to acquire his business. 50 and others were working on a Let Us Get Floyd Back in Pocket campaign, which was essentially a fundraiser similar to the one Rick Ross wanted to organize for Big Meech, while Floyd was running this smear campaign.
As he was actually going in to jail, he asked me to help him with Mayweather promotion.
Right.
Then as he actually got in and I took a look, I realized there is no Mayweather promotions. There's no LLC, there's no seal, it's not incorporated, it's just a...
What's the name?
Yeah,
That comes out of people's mouths.
Right. See, technically, Floyd is a Golden Boy fighter. You see what I'm saying? He fights on every Golden Boy card. They do all the footwork.
On like the negotiations and the imprint, the paper.
It built the whole show. So when he says helping with Mayweather promotions and it's not there, I go, okay, I know what he means. He wants me to
Get it together.
put it together for him. So I do TMT promotions. I get it all the way together. Sign the actual fighters. We had acquisition of Gamboa. It's like I had to negotiate a release. It was 1.2 million. Andre Durrell, IBF champion Billy Dip, WBA champion Celestino Calabero, so we brought them over. I brought them over while Floyd was, incarcerated. Then he comes home. There's the Let's Get Floyd Back in Pocket campaign that goes on where, it's $300,000 chains being bought, buying new Lamborghini and all these new things. And I'm sitting there going, yo, when you gonna give me the money?
Because you're already invested.
Right, like when you gonna give me your half of the money back. But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail. Right? So it's like, let him cool his heels before you.
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sitting there big and I'm like, yo, so when, but see the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent regardless. So I'm looking at him going, so there ain't no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he gonna say he wants to give me the other half of it? Well, I gotta ask you for it.
Right.
And then when
are we talking over 2 million?
It's about that.
Okay.
At that point, it was investing in.
All right.
So look, he goes, when he finally does bring up the actual the situation, he acted like he didn't know anything. Like, I didn't tell y'all to do that. I didn't tell you to do that. And I'm looking at him and he looked in my face and he didn't tell me to do that.
As you are already aware, 50 values loyalty, thus he was not going to allow Floyd to get away with spreading untrue rumors about him. However, 50 ended up appearing to be the villain when he finally replied. Floyd strengthened his position by accusing 50 of being a male boxing groupie who had a failed musical career. At first, 50 would blame Floyd for sleeping with his best friend's woman, while Floyd would make fun of 50 for having a bad relationship with his son Marquise.
I look at the computer say, Floyd said, but the fuck Nelly for that 50. I'm like, what did he say fat me for? Nelly fucked your first baby mama, Melissa, then took your friend and fiance, say fuck that nigga.
Floyd was even charged by 50 at one point with contributing to the untimely deaths of Earl Hayes and his wife Jessica. 50 stated, tell everybody why you was on FaceTime when he unalived Jessica and himself, because he was confronting you about effing his wife. But 50 went right for the jugular just when it appeared that he would give up. In exchange for Floyd reading a page of Harry Potter, he offered to donate $750,000 to any charity of Floyd's choosing.
This is a special ASLELS
challenge for you, Floyd. If you can read one full page of a Harry Potter book, Nixon, I'll give $750,000 to whatever charitable organization you want to. The bucket eyes, man.
Although Floyd clapped back by posting photos of checks totaling over $72 million, proving he didn't need to stoop to 50's level, Floyd was never quite able to shake the accusations of the uneducated man. Floyd responded by urging 50 to enter the ring and resolve their dispute the traditional way. The fight never happened, despite speculations that it will take place in 2014. In 2018, Floyd invited Tierra Marie, who was suing 50 for revenge porn, to perform at his nightclub, which was just another small-minded move. Floyd solidified their animosity by dragging 50 in an open letter on Instagram, which was the final straw for their friendship. When Lil Meech and Big Meech appeared in pictures with Floyd, you can see why 50 felt so irritated. Never one to back down, 50 retaliated right away with his own blows. He joked that he and Rick Ross were discussing plans for Rose to give Big Meech chicken wings from his fast food chain when he posted a video of Lil Meech and Ross conversing. In one post, 50 also made fun of Lil Meech by drawing a comparison between Lil Meech's acting abilities and those of Michael Rainey Jr., who starred in 50's critically acclaimed series Power Book 2 Ghost. 50 took advantage of the fact that Michael had won an End-All ACP award for his performance to make fun of Lil Meech. 50 also posted this AI-edited video in which he appeared to criticize Lil Meech, claiming that although he wanted to show him the good life, he was determined to follow in his father's footsteps.
I tried to give him the large picture. Yo, Pops wasn't no gangster.
50 intense pursuit of Lil Meech, who was unrelated to his father's alleged snitching, seems strange at first glance. But when Boozy called 50 out for transferring aggression on Lil Meech, he finally gave his version of events. He stated, "I did more for Mimi than anyone in his life, Boozy. That's why he responded like that. If he get locked up, I'm the first person he'd call. Bailed him out every time. When I saw him laughing at his pop post, I said, oh, he a snake too. He belonged with him." 50 discussed how he helped Lil Meech get into rehab and gave him financial management tips in a different piece. "I gave it some thinking," he said. "I believe he felt uneasy about my friendship with Mimi. I am informing Mimi that I do not want him to do, doctor. He began to puke up during a test of weapons. Then Ian informed me the young ninja had whippets in his pickup." "What the F are whippets?" I said. "As far as I can tell, baby guns are the eye. The least you can do is to avoid publicly embarrassing someone who has done so much for your family by spending time with their enemies and posting pictures of them all over social media." Because of this, Charleston White claims that Big Meech made a grave error by sharing a video of himself with Rick Ross on social media, and then a video refuting the claims of snitching.
Meech's biggest mistake was getting on camera with Rick Ross, running to the internet. Rick Ross was wrong for putting Big Meech out there, knowing he doing business with 50. Rick Ross using Meech. Rick Ross using him, homie, knowing that there's a beef between me and this guy. So to do this video and then put it out there was a slap in the face to 50. Oh, and I done put everybody in position. Now, I'm with 50. You thought you were gone. Rick Ross didn't reach out to your son. Try to put him in his position where he can make $5 million. Did nobody reach out to you? Rick Ross didn't give you no money off using your name, your likeness, or whatever in that song. He didn't give you no kickbacks for that. So, if he really fucking with you, he could have put the concert on without putting you in the mix. But they playing tit for tat. So the 50 ain't wrong.
Lil Meech and his father destroyed everything by partnering with Floyd Mayweather, even if there had been a chance for 50 to move on from the Rick Ross incident and continue with the series. Floyd, on the other hand, is obviously aware of the conflict between 50 Cent and Big Meech and is merely utilizing the father and son as props in his scheme. However, it seems that he is so determined to return by the age of 50 that he will smash everybody who gets in his way, including Charleston White. Floyd is supposedly trying to get Charleston arrested and sent back to jail by pulling strings behind the scenes, which is crazy if it is true. However, do you guys believe Floyd will support Big Meech and his son? Or do you believe that all of this is a ruse to get under 50's skin? Please leave a comment below and return for more films like this one.